Academic Bank of Credit initiative under the Ministry of Education, a PhD in economics. He has authored 10 textbooks and 17 reference books during his career. Professor L.D. Mathur sir has been honored with many awards including the prestigious APJ Abdul Kalam Award and Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Award. He is also a respected soft skill trainer, mentoring thousands in communication and leadership. With deep respect, we invite President of VGU, Professor N.D. Mathur sir, to deliver the welcome address and round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. AI की आंधियां मगरूर दरख्तों को पलट जाएगी, वही शाख बचेगी जो लचक जाएगी, और आसमान छूने का अंदाजा हो जाएगा तुम्हें, जमीन पांव के नीचे से खिसक जाएगी. Under the chief guest of the function, L.K. Maheshwari Sahab, former Vice Chancellor Birani, Vipin Kumar ji, the HR leader, who will deliver the keynote address. Our chairman, Dr. Dr.K.R.Bagaria ji, CEO of the VGU. I extend a very hearty welcome to all the guests on behalf of Vivekananda Global University and on my own, all the faculty members, HR leaders, HR executives and students. Friends, this is the third in the series, the HR Vision Conclave 3.0. So this is third in the series, and the theme is workforce and workplace HR at the frontier of 2030. And the focus is AI-driven HR transformation, hybrid work ecosystems, Gen Z and Z Alpha readiness for all this. So let me inform you that Vivekananda Global University is striding ahead. NAC A+ is our ranking in NAC. US Asia ranking in 2026 has been announced recently. It is 666. IRF ranking is 98, and we are recognized by UGC, AICT, ICAR, ACI, PCI, BCI, Bar Council and Pharmacy Council and Architecture Council. We have 15 faculties, different faculties in 20 departments, 500 plus faculty members, highly qualified, 60 programs, various kinds of programs in engineering, management, agriculture, allied health, pharmacy, humanities. We have 500 corporate collaborations, 360 incubated startups or Atal Incubation, Community Incubation Center, IIC, IIIC for placements and internships. The USP of this university is that we have highly qualified teachers, quality education, for which we are known, the rich infrastructure, plus green campus, good number of publications, patents, placements, internships, etc. There are around 125 ventures, successful ventures working. 7 crore fund raised by our incubators and in support of ACIC VGU Foundation to all these startups. Now, HR means the human resource, and the human touch is first, the people first, the human first. That is the motto. Whatever the technological improvement and advancement takes place, the first comes is human. Human touch, human relationship, human resource, accounting for human resource. So HR means human. We have to deal with the humanity, humility. And the core differentiator is experience, the user experience, the employee experience must be good. And this should relate to empathy, well-being, inclusion, personal growth. It should be, all policy should be employee-centric. An employee must see purpose in his recruitment. He should feel psychological safety, then meaningful connection. Technology becomes enabler, not a replacement for human care. Technology should not replace but enable in the working. Will be talking about AI transformation today, and this means intelligent talent recognition, personalized learning and development, sentiment and engagement analytics, workforce planning that should be experience driven. For Gen Z and Alpha, what are the expectations of this generation? The authenticity and transparency, continuous feedback, value-driven organization, tech-rich environment, career agility, not fixed ladders but flexible ladders, and well-being as non-negotiable. So the HR should be ongoing, modular, personalized learning ecosystem. It should be project-based team structure, output-focused performance and hybrid work options. Flexibility is no longer a perk, it is a competitive advantage that supports productivity, diversity, efficiency, and the well-being of the person. So the future of HR is human focused, generational shifts, lifelong skill development, flexible and adaptive work structures. And the the concrete message is think critically, work digitally, collaborate inclusively, lead empathetically, and learn continuously. I extend a warm welcome to all the guests and to all CHROs, CXOs, HR tech leaders, consultants, professors of practice, innovators, and the thinkers. I once again thank everybody in this HR Conclave 2030, and I will close by saying, अब हवाएं करेगी रोशनी का फैसला, जिस दिए में जान होगी जलता रह जाएगा. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those inspiring words. I may now request Mr. M.R. Bagaria, sir, patron VGU, to felicitate guest of honor for today, Professor L.K. Maheshwari, sir, and our keynote speaker for the day, Dr. Major VIT Kumar, sir. Now, it is our privilege to introduce an eminent personality whose distinguished service and leadership have left an indelible mark on the nation, our Honorable Chairperson Dr. Lalit K. Pawar, sir. Dr. Lalit K. Pawar sir is from prestigious Indian Administrative Services (IAS). He has played various roles during his stellar career spanning over 3 decades, including Chairman of Rajasthan Public Service Commission, Secretary of Ministry of Tourism and Ministry of Minority Affairs, Chairman and Managing Director of RTDC, Chairman and Managing Director of ITDC. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage Chairperson of Vivekanand Global University, Jaipur, Dr. Lalit K. Pawar sir for his address.
सबसे पहले आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार प्रणाम गुड मॉर्निंग गुड मॉर्निंग हाउ इज द जोश थैंक यू ऑनरेबल चीफ गेस्ट eminent scientist Professor Dr.K.R.Bagaria sir, our keynote speaker today Dr. Vipin Kumar sir, our patron M.R. Bagaria Sahab, President Professor Mathur sir, our dynamic CEO Janab Dr.K.R.Bagaria Sahab, Group President DVS sir, Registrar Praveen sir, Dean Sahib Baldev sir, and our Director of Faculty of Management Studies, the moving spirit behind this conclave, Dr. Malvika ji, all the Dean Sahiban, HODs, learned faculty members, and above all, dear students. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Faculty of Management Studies and entire team for a very innovative title that is Innov HR Mission. And the theme, when I was going through the details of the theme, reimagining work, workforce and workplace, and focus was on AI-driven transformation. It's a very, very important topical theme. AI is here to stay. Not only here to stay, we have to live to learn with it in a very, very positive way. Now, people of our generation who were born in 50s, 60s, what we were the physical natives. Now, then came the 90s onwards, so-called Gen Z, they are digital natives. And now our alpha, and of course alpha, beta, gamma, the generations to come, they are AI natives. So being native to a physical, to being native to an AI world. Incidentally, sir, today is also World Electronics Greetings Day. Distance has become, all our greetings, all communication has become distance neutral, thanks to the technological breakthroughs. Now, HR and AI, very, very important theme, and I would like to submit two very contrasting views, sir, on this subject. So when I do my homework on this topic, I was startled to know that one of the top scientists in this AI ecosystem, Professor Joshua Bengio, a professor at University of Montreal, he has observed that AI could introduce or innovate or invent a pathogen which could be lethal. This is one view. I will call it very pessimistic view. Now, contrasted in the same ecosystem, Professor Yu Li Kyung, he sees AI as amplification of human intelligence. So there are the two contrasting opinions, a boon or a bane. I think the truth is somewhere in between. We have seen, friends, 1930s, the phenomena of nuclear fission started. And it was proclaimed from the rooftop of that was nuclear energy for world peace. And what happened? In 1945, we had the tragedy of Hiroshima. So we have to be extremely careful while using these tools. As early as September 25, Stanford University has reported that we could invent a pathogen which could kill the E. coli. So this is the positive aspect. What happens it is aimed at something else. It can be very destructive also. The point I want to share is that it is a technology, and if you refer to our Indian scriptures, normally I call this something like Bhasmasur. If you master it in a proper way, and if you don't control it, Bhasmasur can really burn. And as you all know that from our scriptures, that Bhasmasur, after being empowered by Lord Shiva, he tried to kill Shiva. Now, there has to be a fight and has to be balanced. It is going to be a fight between the HI and the AI. The human intelligence and the artificial intelligence. After all, who invented AI? Humans, HI. So if HI can invent AI, HI can easily control the AI in a very, very positive way. That's the challenge. Human resource will always be supreme in any management of things. Man behind the machine or the person behind the machine which matters. So these are some of the thoughts which I wanted to share. We are here to listen to very eminent speakers on the subject. Future belongs to AI. We should imbibe this technology as one of our supporting tools in all our human endeavors and make this world a better place to live. And also a word of caution that if we not use it properly, it might be very, very catastrophic. With these words, I would like to welcome our honorable guests, and we all look forward to their deliberations and their presentations, and this our morning. Thank you very much. I wish a great success.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful reflections. It's time now to invite our respected CEO, Engineer Dr.K.R.Bagaria, sir, a leader committed to innovation, academic excellence, and institutional growth. Omkar sir is a remarkable individual who has left an indelible mark in the fields of education, entrepreneurship, and mentoring. He is a true visionary, a leader, and educationist. Please join me in welcoming on stage with a round of applause CEO of VIT Campus, Engineer Dr.K.R.Bagaria.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Slightly better. Good morning, everyone. Honorable L.K. Maheshwari, sir. The past speakers and everyone has told that sir is the chief guest. I think he's the chief host and not the chief here today, as his in the board of management from day one before the inception of this university. He is the chief host for today. My guru, my vice chancellor when I was at VIT Campus. So for me, it's like guru coming and saying what I'm going to speak today. So it's an exam like a condition. I welcome all the dignitaries, Kumar sir, all the HR from various organizations, Honorable Chairperson sir, Patron sir, President sir, Pro-President sir, Deans, HODs, faculty member, Department of IIIC and Department of Management, and my dear students. As most of you know, I usually speak without a paper. But today, since it's an exam, so I've tried to write it down and speak from a paper or और जब मैं पेपर निकाल रहा तो वहां से बोलते सर हंस रहे थे कि सर जो है आज कुछ अलग करने वाले हैं कि क्या होने वाला एनीवे सो I'll read from the paper but I feel that it goes in the line of my thoughts and then I will tell you that why I have chosen to read except from the exams. And I'll read it in the way it is written so that you know the bhav of it. So आदरणीय मुख्य अतिथि, सम्मानित उद्योग जगत के दिग्गज, शिक्षाविद, प्रिय संकाय सदस्य और मेरे प्यारे विद्यार्थी, नमस्कार। आप सभी का वीजीयू परिवार में हार्दिक स्वागत है। Once Henry Ford said, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is a success." So we have taken that step forward where we have come together and trying to work together for a success. Today at Innovation, we are not just beginning, we are igniting a revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is changing at a very fast speed. As Honorable Chairperson Sir said, AI is coming, AI is trying to disrupt our fraternity. I think more than that, the system and the requirement of managing the way HR fraternity looks at. When Honorable Nayan Murthy ji speaks about 72 hours working, HRs are feeling the heat. That whether we have to go as per the industry visionaries or we have to go as per the flexibility which the Honorable President was talking about, that we have to give the flexibility to the staff. The current what to teach and what not to teach. That bond has to be changed. At VGU, we are not building a university, we are building an ecosystem. An ecosystem where industry leaders walk into our classrooms, where student interns in boardrooms and not just libraries. At VGU, we have a mandatory condition of that each and every student has to do an internship every year, maybe of a week, 45 days, 90 days or 6 months, depending on the process of the year they are. Where research doesn't get a dust on shelves but transform into patent and startups. Today, the academia, and Maheshwari sir will obviously echo this, is producing lot of patents, research, and the academia wants that should be commercialized. Industry wants that if India has to be a knowledge economy, we need to do research, and this research is done in the academic institution majorly. So the difference is earlier industry and institute collaboration was only for placements or coming for a trial. Today we are not looking at that. Today we want you to come, do research with us, give your problems, we solve your problems, you solve our problems. Where HR professionals help us in designing curricula that create job-ready graduates. As Steve Jobs wisely said, great things in business are never born by one person. They are done by a team of people. And today, I invite you, the captains of the industry, the HR visionaries, the thought leaders, to be part of Team VGU. Let me share a vision. जिसके सपने बड़े होते हैं, उसकी सफलता भी उतनी ही बड़ी होती है. Our dream at VGU is to create graduates who don't just seek jobs, but create jobs. We don't just follow trends, we set who don't just survive in the VUCA world, thrive in it. Just to give an example on what President Sir was saying, and if many of you could relate to it, today we are housing at our incubation center 136 startups. They have raised a cumulative fund of CR, given jobs to 1,384 people. The industry is within VGU. Many of you who want to be recruited by these startups have to come to VGU. It is other way around. Neither only that our students wanting to get recruited or placed in your organization, maybe some of these wanting you to join them. That's the difference, and that is the culture we are creating. The total revenue generated in the financial year 25 by these startups is 198 crores. So that's the difference. Two of them made to the Shark Tank, one made to the GTV recently, the new episode which comes out, Hunarbaz and all that. But dreams need partners. Dream need believers. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has not changed. Today, I wholeheartedly invite each one of you, hire our students, they will surprise you. Mentor our startups, they will inspire you. Collaborate in research, together we will innovate. Be our guest faculty, share your wisdom, shape our future. As we know HR vision, I leave you with this thought. अगर साथ चले तो कारवां बन जाए, अगर साथ जले तो चिराग बन जाए. Let us walk together, let us shine together, let us build VGU one together. Thank you, धन्यवाद. It all starts from here. Very good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging and insightful work. We now move towards the pivotal moment of this inaugural session, the keynote address. It is our honor to present you a leader whose insights and experiences truly embody the theme of today's conclave. We are privileged to introduce Dr. Major Vipin Kumar Sir, Director HR, Kohler, India. Sir is a distinguished HR and industrial relations leader with over 36 years of experience, including 10 years of exemplary service in the Indian Army. He currently serves as Director HR at Kohler, India, with global exposure and leadership responsibility for HR, IR, and administration across 3 manufacturing plants, managing a workforce of more than 3,500 employees in both unionized and ununionized settings. A certified global trainer in several psychometric and behavioral fields. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming on stage with a big round of applause, Dr. Major Vipin Kumar Sir, deliver the keynote address.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me at the back? Yes, sir. Good, thank you. So first of all, I would like to thank my friend Mr. Shekhawat, who encouraged me to come all the way from Vadodara to this place to come and talk to you. I am also thankful to LAN, for giving me this opportunity and the dignity sitting in the back. Thank you all. So I would like to talk to you, to the students, because the people who are your professors, the people who are sitting in the back are all learned. And that is 2 to 3% principle. And what is that? In my experience, 2 to 3% people can build and can make the difference. You take anything, everybody is working. You see a war, all the soldiers are fighting. People who make the, you send any organizations, you send to 3%. I also would like to say,
or serve every member of the house a customized cup of coffee. Makes your day easier, doesn't it? These are the products of artificial intelligence. But why use the term artificial intelligence? Well, these machines are artificially incorporated with human-like intelligence to perform tasks as we do. This intelligence is built using complex algorithms and mathematical functions. But AI may not be as obvious as in the previous examples. In fact, AI is used in smartphones, cars, social media feeds, video games, banking, surveillance, and many other aspects of our daily life. The real question is, what does an AI do at its core? Here is a robot we built in our lab, which is now dropped onto a field. In spite of the variation in lighting, landscape, and dimensions of the field, the AI robot must perform as expected. This ability to react appropriately to a new situation is called generalized learning. The robot is now at a crossroad, one that is paved and the other rocky. The robot must determine which path to take based on the circumstances. This portrays the robot's reasoning ability. After a short stroll, the robot now encounters a stream that it cannot swim across. Using the plank provided as an input, the robot is able to cross this stream. So, our robot uses the given input and finds the solution for a problem. This is problem solving. These three capabilities make the robot artificially intelligent. In short, AI ability to adapt, reason, and provide solutions. Well, now that we know what AI is, let's have a look at the two broad categories an AI is classified into. Weak AI, also called narrow AI, focuses solely on one task. For example, AlphaGo is a maestro of the game Go, but you can't expect it to be even remotely good at chess. This makes AlphaGo a weak AI. You might say Alexa is definitely not a weak AI, since it can perform multiple tasks. Well, that's not really true. When you ask Alexa to play Despacito, it picks up the keywords play and Despacito, and runs a program it is trained to. Alexa cannot respond to a question it isn't trained to answer. For instance, try asking Alexa the status of traffic from work to home. Alexa cannot provide you this information, as she is not trained to. And that brings us to our second category of AI, strong AI. Now, this is much like the robots that only exist in fiction as of now. Ultron from Avengers is an ideal example of a strong AI. That's because it's self-aware and eventually even develops emotions. This makes the AI's response unpredictable. You must be wondering, well, how is artificial intelligence different from machine learning and deep learning? We saw what AI is. Machine learning is a technique to achieve AI, and deep learning, in turn, is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning provides a machine with the capability to learn from data and experience through algorithms. Deep learning does this learning through ways inspired by the human brain. This means, through deep learning, data and patterns can be better perceived. Ray Kurzweil, a well-known futurist, predicts that by the year 2045, we would have robots as smart as humans. This is called the point of singularity. Well, that's not all. In fact, Elon Musk predicts that the human mind and body will be enhanced by AI implants, which would make us partly cyborgs. So, here's a question for you. Which of the below AI projects don't exist yet? A, an AI robot with citizenship. B, a robot with a muscular skeletal system. C, AI that can read its owner's emotions. D, AI that develops emotions over time. Give it a thought and leave your answers in the comment section below. 3 lucky winners will receive Amazon gift vouchers. Since the human brain is still a mystery, it's no surprise that AI too has a lot of other domains. For now, AI is built to work with humans and here. However, with the maturation of technology, we wait and watch what the future of AI holds for us. Well, that is artificial intelligence for you in short. Do not forget to leave your answer to the quiz in the comment section below. Also, like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so this is what about AI is, and most of the people really do not know what AI is. Even the ChatGPT that you use is not true AI. It is very primitive. Actual AI will come, and as you see in the questionnaire, it was a question. There is a robot called Sophia. She has got citizenship for Saudi Arabia. Okay, the only thing, 2 things which are not there still, reading own emotions because robots do not have emotions, and judging the emotions of other people. So, let me take you back to 1955. And if you are sitting in this room and talking about AI, you should know why 1955 is famous for. Any guesses? Okay, 1955 is famous for because that was the year that Britain sent first computer to India. That costed 10 lakh rupees. When it came in India, it was installed in ISI, that is International Static Center in India, in Calcutta. The people objected to it. They said, the people will lose job, it is not good, how the people will do their earning, and they opposed so much that it got delayed. I went to one of the campus interviews in Calcutta. There is a government college, and the professor was sitting in the car, and he said, "Sir, you know how much it was delayed?" I said, "No, sir, I do not know." He said, "It was for 10 years, 1 decade." I said, "Okay." But before coming to this place, I was again going through the GPT, Chat GPT. Chat GPT, and it is on record. And what is has done is that our progress has shifted that much backwards. The computer came in 1955, first computer, people objected, and it got delayed for 3 decades. Can you beat it? Because people were scared that they lose the job. In 1985, the government introduced railway reservations through computers, and that is the time people were thinking that yes, it is good for us. It is not that it is going to take the job. Now, 30 years, we could not progress with the world, and we have missed the bus. That is the implication. And it is not that, like in India, we are doing that. We are all humans. And I tell you honestly, and it is nothing that I am trying to, say this thing about India. I have been to many countries. I have been to Mexico. I was there for about 3 months to solve their issues. Indians are the most intelligent people, most hardworking people in the world. That I can vouch for. So it got delayed. It should have been there. And because we may think that, the people, India is a poor country, and, we could not say that, if a computer is there, the clerk will lose the job. It is not so. Even today, last week, I was having a conference, global conference. We are introducing a tool called Workday. Workday is nothing, but again, it is a primitive AI. It is not actually AI. It is what it is doing is that it is putting all the functions. So, if I'm in HR, what my pay would be, what my attendance would be, what my benefits would be. If somebody would like to give me some reward recognitions, it can go through that on a global platform. So the people sitting in US started fearing. So one of the HR directors said, we fear that in HR that people might lose the job. But that's not good. It does not look good. So we are all humans. So if you see from 1955 till date, how many jobs have lost? How many jobs have been lost? Jobs will be lost, but then other jobs will be created. Different jobs will be created. And one of the dignitary who was saying that it is required that the education institutions come together with the industry. They have to walk with the pace of the industry, where the industry is going. Because at the end of the day, we get our all money, resources, economy through industries and business. So this is that we have to do. So we should not be scared of transformations, changes, digitalization. Most of the tools that we see today that is being used in HR are all not AI. They are not true AI. They will get developed. So Chat GPT, as I said, it is not. So what will happen is, in good old days when I started in HR, way back in 2000, there used to be a big department called Time Office. How many of you know that? Yeah. So there was a big Time Office. People used to mark attendance, put leave manually. Today, you do not see any Time Office anywhere. I don't think that any of the company has. So there is no Time Office. The people, nowadays, even it is not only HR, it is everybody which is moving towards AI. Whether it is finance, whether it is production. So we make product. So let us say we make product, the person is making 10 products in a day or 20 products. After 15 years, I can find out who made this product, at what date, at what time. And not only that, when they make a product, all the products do not go to the boxes. Okay, some are rejected. Why they are rejected? It comes on a camera, and there is an interface between the person who's making it and what defects they are creating. They can get to know that. So with this, do you think that the supervisors are required? Not required. So they will get a different job. So it is happening. So you have to take it. Another thing that I want to tell you is there are two very important things that I wish to talk to you. So one thing is whatever human brain, I'm repeating, whatever human brain can conceive, can achieve. Whatever. Wright brothers, they saw a bird flying, they said, why can't humans fly? Today you are traveling in aircraft. Okay, John F. Kennedy said, one day I will put a man on the moon. Musk is talking about people living on Mars. Can it happen? It will happen. Another system is the belief system. Whatever belief that you carry, you will become that. Today you can write on a paper and you can see after 10, 15, 20 years. But we judge ourselves very poorly. We think what a poor man can do, what I can do, I can only go this way. And that is why in interview they ask you, how do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Okay, people say, sir, I just want to excel in mechanical drawing, or I want to be a designer. To lead a business in 10 years. Those are the kind of people that. So this is the power. Again I say, all the good companies, they value HR and finance. So production, all the part of the body are very, very important. But HR plays a critical role in shaping of any organization. But if you do only HR job, you will not succeed. You will not make your business succeed. You have to know business as good as the production people or the business people. Okay? You cannot say how the technology is used, how it is produced, what is my standard cost, what are my margins. If you do not know that, you are not do HR. You have to understand your business in and out. So AI, like we talked about AI, okay, it is artificial. So what is happening is that now they are developing, this technology. What is happening is that initially you used to go to Google, you search something, it gives you thousands of pages, you will get confused. Okay. Now there are tools. You say, I want 10 finance books available in the globe which are the best. They will give you the 10 books. I need the crux. I need in 500 words. I do not want to read. You make me listen. So they will speak up. Everything is happening. So this is how AI is transforming. Another thing is, this is called AI. Another thing is called quantum AI. That works on qubits. It is logical. So any logic, any computer works on bits. 0, 1, binary. Okay. It works on multi-bits. It is there would be research and development. There would be disruption in medicine. Now, let us say if you want to, do a research on a medicine, let's say suppose diabetic or whatever it is, it takes about 6 to 7 years to prove. Now it can be proved, it will act on all the parts of the human being, side effect, everything, and then they can tell you the result in few months, 2 to 3 months. Now you are ready with the medicine. Also, as one of the gentlemen was saying, that is responsive AI. Somebody said, myself or whatever it is, yes, it will happen. Anything cannot be like only advantages, there would be disadvantages, but then we are here to control it. So there is another terminology which is called responsive AI. So people are working on it, they are working, and they want to ensure that it does not lead to any destructive thing or any negative thing. Suppose somebody writes, for an example, I'm just sharing it with you, that I want to make fast car. So AI will say, go to the bank and okay, that can also happen. But then those responsive AI, we have to be responsible for. So how it is happening is, how it is reshaping the work. All these things are there that people will lose the job. That is there, but then new jobs will come up. Okay, so I will not waste your time over there. Now some of the work which are manual, like even janitors, you see on the airports, the robots working and cleaning airport. Houses, the people are using robots or machines. Okay. So these things will happen. Technology bias by having, but you can also have bias. Nowadays, some of the companies, what they do is that there is no human interaction. Shortlisting of CVs, interviews, psychometric tests, everything is done on AI, through AI. People come on board, join the company. It is so fast. The advantage is that you have n number of options. There is no bias. Certain people put certain restrictions. No, I will not hire this. I will not hire that. No. So this computer automation will pick up the best and get you the best candidate. All these things are happening, but again, please try to understand all these things which are happening. Let's say even the workplace. So how the transformation is taking place? It is digitalization, automation. It is not still come to AI. AI will come if they can work or behave like humans. Japan has, made a robot which has got a skin as good as human beings. Okay, they will start thinking like human beings. They will start behaving like human beings. Experiences, as somebody was saying, right? 7 days to get a letter or get an increment letter. It is all automated. Then recruitment, deploy experience, performance again. There are so much of bias. I like this person, I give him good rating. I do not like this person, I give him bad rating. But then it is all, publicly available. It is going to the AI system or a system which is digital. Learning can also happen. You also see so many online learnings which are taking place. Then it can do faster hiring, better matches, and reduces bias. These are some of the tools that you can go. So whatever I'm talking to you, if you go to the net, search for these things, you will get to know what I'm talking about. But you must understand that all these tools will come, but human importance will still remain. Why? Because some laws are changing. Who will build up those changes? Who will see the consequences? I tell you a very simple example. This is the problem that we face. I was talking to people who are working on workday, and they are putting in lever and everything. I said, you must keep some deviation here. Because if somebody gets hurt, let's say somebody was going in a motorcycle, he is a very good employee to me, I cannot say you got the 30 days leave. I give him leave free of cost. I pay him 100%, I do not cut any of his salary because he's good. That much of advantage that he or she should get. So those things, the humans are required. Now, many of the companies are using, they get to know how the employees are. They can do analysis. Nowadays, if you are talking and having a meeting, you open up the chat GPT, either it will record the voice, or it will write whatever you are speaking. They will give you the minutes of the meeting, responsibility, follow it up, everything is happening automatically, and why not? Performance management, as I said, then these are the performance management tools, so that you can see on the net. I will not waste your time here. Okay, so as I said, ethical thing, there is an investigation which is happening. I cannot do it. You have to see the pros and cons. Cyber security, data, everything it is happening. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions? Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Very good question. And that is what I am saying, the belief system. Okay. The belief system, and why it is so important is that, and it is ingrained in our, so we are AIs of, so we are not artificial, we are intelligent, but for intelligent to what amount? To our society that we live in, okay. The institutions that we study in, so this is the backlog that we carry. So we have to improve the culture. So we have to see is, so simplest example is that either, so first of all is institutions, they should impart that education so that the people become success. So if I have to, let's say, hire a L&D, learning and development, even before 10 years I used to prefer a person who's done engineering and MBA. In HR also you can put in some technical thing, okay, so that is one. Second thing is, you should educate your people. AI is not Hawa. It is, so what is AI? AI, so I have workmen, about 500 workmen who are uneducated, who have no education. So AI is not rocket science. So AI, the rocket science is for the people who are developing it. The people who will use it, it will be very user-friendly to them. So I was saying that my people do not know how to read, write Hindi or English, anything. So you make me a tool that the person can speak to. So I am Vipin Kumar, having KO number 2025. So tell me my leave. और I speak in Hindi पे मेरे को मेरी छुट्टियां बताओ, उसको बता देगा कितनी बची है बता देगा. So this is the beauty of AI. So you must educate your people that it is not against you, it is for you. It is for your own good. So that you can do. You should have some courses for these people. So there is no need to replace these people, but you can educate these people to learn about AI. So this is all that. Thank you, sir. Sir, please, sir. It's not a question, it's just into the addition of this what Peter said. To just give you a simple example, I've completed my MBA. My name is Nitin. I would be one of the panelists here. I will be talking to you with one of the keynote speakers. I've completed my MBA 25 years back. On that time, there was no such thing was happening. So all credit goes to you guys, all seniors. जो आप लोग को इस तरह का प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करते हैं. My humble request to each one of you to please listen all the things which we people are saying to you because these are our hits and misses. My 25 years, your 50 years. The thing which he said, AI is not a thing. टाइपराइटर से कंप्यूटर आया था. टच बटन से स्मार्टफोन आया था. स्मार्टफोन जब आया तो डेटा बढ़ गया. डेटा बेचने वाले बढ़ गए. एक चीज खत्म होती है दूसरी बढ़ जाती है. बिल्कुल. तो दिस इज द अपॉर्चुनिटी. आप लोग को we discuss a lot. पूरा दिन हमारे पास में हम डिस्कस करेंगे. There are some opportunities. There is nothing to hurt about. There is nothing to fear about. There are a number of things. Please make this session more interactive because you people are lucky that you are. आपके सामने 50 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है. आपके सामने जीरो होगा, लेकिन यहाँ पे 50 साल का है. आप यहाँ से क्या सीख सकते हैं खुद को नहीं पता. My humble request, please make this session more interactive. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you immensely, sir, for insightful and thought-provoking keynote. We now have the honor of inviting our guest of honor, a respected academic leader and visionary educator, Professor L.K. Maheshwari, sir, former Vice Chancellor of the prestigious Birla Institute of Technology and Science, BITS Pilani. Professor L.K. Maheshwari, sir, is a distinguished academic leader and currently serves as the advisor to the Chancellor at BITS Pilani. One of the India's most reputed institutions of higher education, over his illustrious career, he has held several key academic and administrative positions at BITS, playing a vital role in its growth as a modern, research-driven, and globally respected university. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands on stage, Professor L.K. Maheshwari, sir, for his address.
चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं नादबिन्दुकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. Honorable Sri Bagaria ji, Chief Guest of the day, keynote speaker, Dr. K.R.Bagaria, University, President Sir, Mathur Saab, President Abdullah Saab, Sri Omkar ji, faculty members, distinguished delegates to the HR conclave, and my dear students. First of all, I like to congratulate the university, Vivekananda University, to have taken the initiative of organizing this event. And I am, my president sir, the third enclave which is happening today. So congratulations to the university. It's a very timely
event which you have organized for the area of human resources essentially. Friends, let me dwell on the thought process. We had listened very carefully the keynote speaker, the role of AI in HR, various aspects mentioned by him, and how the AI is transforming. And to the question answer which was there, you understood the 25 years experience and 50 years experience. What transformation can take place? The scenario is such that things will keep on changing. It will not be stopping. That is the journey of life of human beings. It doesn't stop at any moment of time. What we studied, no longer valid now, it is something new which has come up here. So this will keep on happening here. But let me just dwell on the theme here. What are universities? What are higher education institutions? To me it looks like they are talent factories. They try to make talent useful to society, useful to a state, useful to a country, and useful to the whole humanity particularly. That is the role of the university here. Now what has happened over last roughly 75 years, 1950 onwards. 1955 mentioned the computer came to ISI Calcutta. That is what perhaps I remember. That is what the keynote speaker said. But 1950 was the hallmark year when the invention of transistor took place, and Nobel Prize for this was given to three scientists, Bardeen, Bradeen, and William Shockley at Berkeley Laboratory. And at that time, nobody understood that it is such an important technology which is going to transform the world. But I think from that time onwards, you find that things have changed very much here, and things have developed tremendously which nobody imagined. Could you imagine 20 years back that you can talk to anybody throughout the globe just sitting here on a mobile phone? You can not only see, not only talk, you can also see him. You can see the bedroom, you can see the workplace, you can see everything here. So that is the situation here. So what has happened over the last 50 years as a result of this invention of transistor? Now it is called as chip technology, semiconductor technology. Government is initiative in terms of semiconductor chip manufacturing in India. You find basically that two things have happened. Number one, there is a knowledge expansion at a very fast pace. Knowledge, in fact, has more than doubled, tripled, 4 times. You click anything on the Google, you find answers are there essentially. So knowledge expansion is one part here. And another thing which has happened is the rapid technological advances. Rapid technological advances have really contributed in all the areas of human activity, be it medicine, be it HR, be it any other activity here that has happened here. Now, when we are talking about the role of the universities and higher education institutions in terms of talent transformation, what is the difference now? These two factors I mentioned, fast technological development and knowledge expansion, these two key enablers are there. So you find now, alone universities cannot do this thing. Now it has to be a cooperative effort. Ankar ji has done a very good job in summarizing the role of VGU and the vision of VGU. In fact, the rapid changes which are taking place, talent cannot just be only contributed by the university. Now the HR, the industry, the society at large has to come together to make this talent sharp, make this talent productive, make this talent such that it can serve the society, it can serve the state, it can serve the country. That is the need of the hour here. Now, let me just tell you the successful models which have worked throughout the world and India also. One is the model of cooperative education. In Western world, particularly in America and Canada, very popular. Universities like University of Waterloo in Canada, University is called as Carleton in Ottawa, and Northeastern University in Boston. They, to some extent MIT also, worked on this theme of cooperative education. In India, the analogous models have been BITS Pilani's practice school model, and later on it also went into the WILP, Work Integrated Learning Program. These are the Indian models here. What is the basic difference in the two models? The model which is Western model, in which you are talking about the cooperative education, the initiative has to come from the student. in terms of finding out where he will take the internship and all that. In India, in our Indian model, and to some extent, I think DG is also following that, BITS model particularly, it is the university which organized the internship program. Totally, the division was created called the practice school division, and now a division is there, whole director is there of WILP and all these kinds of things are there. So, I think need of the hour today, since HR executives are present here, I will submit for your consideration that can't you pass on the initiative to the students? A student approaches you with his credentials and you identify what kind of projects he can get involved in your organization. Now it will de-burden partly the university and it will also train the students in a direction where direct dialoguing is with you essentially. Now, what is required of the university by that process? Now, the requirement essentially will be that if a student prepares his biodata. Now he writes hobby, singing is my hobby. Now what is he trying to communicate by that? I was talking to one director of admission in American and Canadian university. The hobby written is singing. What is that he wants to communicate by the singing business? He is a person who likes music. That's all. But does it make sense in an academic situation where he is applying for admission to a university? How does it convey any meaning particularly? So biodata writing will be the part of the university, but you will know what is the requirement you look for in the biodata. If you can synergize these two things here, university, the faculty of languages, English, can also ask the students to prepare biodata properly. I think this will be a joint operation where I think the synergy can be developed. In fact, a symbiotic relationship will be there. Now, when a student approaches you, how it approaches you, university has sanctified that the 40 industries or 60 industries or 100 industries. It's free to communicate with those industries, with the HR people, because you are the gateway for the entry into the industry or organization. HR is the gateway to the entry in the industry for the young people here. So when you open this kind of scenario, then they will prepare their biodata in a manner which communicates information to you. I think that will be the role of the university and you will benefit by that. Then what kind of preparations you will have to make? You will have to make a preparation, what kind of projects you are going to take to give to the students. It cannot be just one-way traffic, university sending a student, because all the time complaint is there by the industry. The students you are producing is no longer useful to useful. They don't know basic things, they're highly unuseful to us. That is the normal complaint. The university says, what can we do? Industry doesn't take our students here. So one method was this, complaining against each other. But I think now time has come where there is a synergy of activities, where two activities to work jointly so that we can create a better talent pool in the country, so that country can be benefited and we can be a developed nation by 1947. Now 2047 as Prime Minister and becomes here. This is what I perceive here as the HR interfacing with the university, identify at your end what are the kind of problems in which the students can work in here, and then the students will communicate directly to you, and then you can say I will take 10 students, I will take 5 students, and I can tell you a very small amount. Can take care of his finance part in terms of his expenditure. It should not be a burden to the parents or to the university. I think that money is very small money, and I think goodwill will continue by this process here. I find in American system, Canadian system, sometimes government supports, sometimes industry support directly students, and I was told recently the working of the student is 7 and a particularly 35 to 40 hours per week, and $18 per hour is the rate which is given for 7 hours per day working officially. That is the kind of situation which is there. So a student has to buy. Student will also be by this process, but you can induce people to your organization. They will also judge you, not that you are judging him. They will also judge you whether you are the capable HR people who can engage him properly. I think with that kind of scenario, when you operate, then the society at large will be benefited, particularly. That is what I feel particularly. I can tell you that, as I told you, it has to be through a process. I tell you, share my experiences, 1976, I'm taking you back time 50 years back. I was deputed by BITS Fulani in Khetri Copper project at K3 Copper Complex. There's a ME batch I have to conduct there, and they have to go for a 5.5 month project in K3 Copper project. So now industry, if you go to engineers, they will see what is the benefit to us. I have been sent by bits to that place particularly. Now it so happened the HR person there told me, sir, can you, our GM wants, general manager wants, and Mr. Bagaria was the general manager at that time. Can you conduct some lectures on electronics? Electronics is my field for the engineers in that organization. I had to travel from Pilani to Khetri. See the students were working, 10 students working, and then also I had to lecture there. I started that. Such a kind of scenario changed by the process of lecturing, where all the instrumentation engineers, electronics engineers, electrical engineers, they joined the lectures. GM inaugurated that conference particularly of lecturing, and I must have delivered 30 lectures over a span of 3 months or so. I think it proved to be such a beneficial situation. Many of the engineers became my personal friends, and our students had a smooth journey in the organization for 5 days. They need from the industry, from the university. University has to already knocking at your doors to give projects to the students. I think if you work that way, you find not only your health, but community at large will be happier. Let me share another example with you. With my observation as chairperson of the peer team of the NAC. NAC is National Assessment and Accreditation Council in India, which accredits institutions. As I told you that this university got A+ grade. Am I correct? I think A+ grade get by the NAC. So I had been going to the NAC committee, not now. Before COVID, I had been going regularly. Almost more than 24 universities, institutions I have gone to here. I find, if you analyze the situation, there are student groups who are essentially moving in terms of growth to make all-terrain vehicles, you know, this automobile training vehicles they are making up here. And also exhibitions they are putting up here. Such enthusiasm I see in institutions across the length and breadth of the country that is unparalleled. See their music program and dance program in the evening, which was supposed to be done by the institutions in the honor of the committee which is visiting them. Such an enthusiasm is there. Say the student, you ask how many classes you attend. He said, sir, don't ask. That's the kind of answer. If you ask young students, you find that attending classes is required. I'm not undermining the need for that. But they have alternative sources of learning now. And alternative sources of learning is provided by AI now. You can attend best lecture by anybody throughout the world through the technology which is available to you today. So why should you attend your lecture? Teachers have to ask this question to themselves. Teachers' role has to be different now. Teachers have to enable the students so that they can learn much better way particularly. So I find that the same student group who are working so heavily, student of first year, second year, third year, fourth year joining together in all terrain vehicle design and implementation, and they are learning PID algorithm. A second year student learning PID algorithm, the course on proportional integral derivative algorithm in instrumentation is taught in the third year or fourth year. But right first year student learning that himself because the project needs that here. So this brings me to the concept of basically learning by doing, or you can say learning essentially for a problem solving. So problem requires that knowledge to be acquired. So I think we have to convert more and more sources of that nature so that the student learn through the experience and they will be feeling enthusiasm. Now there is a topic which is given here, workplace design in the HR, this conference particularly. Now what will be the scenario of the university itself? I sometimes think of what will be the future university. According to me, universities, the method which is followed today, chalk, duster method and other methods here, I think are going to give away way to what I call as activity centers. Universities will have activity centers. They can be in music, they can be in performing arts, they can be in technology, they can be in economics, they can be in other areas. And as many as activity centers you have got in the university, students in their, after completing their basic knowledge, will choose, let us say, 5 activity centers. And they will engage in those activity centers. And in these activity centers, there will be lectures, there will be tutorials, there will be laboratories, there will be projects, there will be internships with the industry. And this will be enabling the student to complete their degree by completing 5 or 6 or activity centers. And
there will be multifarious, multidisciplinary kind of approach in which problem solving will be emphasized, and they will learn through this experience. And you can find the same enthusiasm which is there in the projects doing the, as I told you, all-terrain vehicles, which I observed in all the institutions. Same thing will come to the university system. Lastly, I like to share with you, above all, what is required is ethical behavior, which HR will certainly expect. If HR expects you to behave ethically, it means they don't have to supervise you that you have punched in the attendance or not. It is your duty to be in attendance. I think that feeling has to be induced in them. And I find in American and Canadian pattern particularly that 8:30 a.m. they will start. And invariably people have to, if they have to be in the office, they have to be there at 8:30. Even when they are working from home, I can tell you, they have flexibility of time, but they try to put in that amount of work which is required of them to work for the whole week. Whether they work at 2 o'clock in the night, they work at 8 o'clock in the morning, or they work at their convenience. And they also have leisure time, they enjoy life, but I think the ethics part also has to be imbibed in the young people particularly, and HR has to enable them to learn this. I think we should leave this legacy of suspecting people. We should have faith in the young generation. Once we have faith, I think future is going to be great and India will develop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring and insightful words. We now transition to an important milestone of today's ceremony, the MOU exchange ceremony, symbolizing collaboration, progress, and shared commitment. We request our Honorable Chairperson, Vivekanand Global University, Jaipur, Dr. K.R.Bagaria, to kindly come forward for the formal exchange. We would now like to invite on stage Mr. Anish Gaur from Payas Milk Producers Limited. We would now like to invite on stage Mr. Rakesh Verma from EduNet Foundation. We would now like to invite on stage Mr. Sonu Gujar from Bharat Cares.
To conclude this inaugural session, I would now request our respected Pro-President DBS Bhagwanalu sir to come upon the stage to deliver the vote of thanks, expressing our collective gratitude.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor L.K. Maheshwari, Advisor and the Chancellor, BITS Pilani, our Chairperson, Dr. K.R.Bagaria sir, and today's guest of honor, Dr. VIT Kumar, our patron, Mr. M.R. Bagaria sir, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. N.D. Mathur, and our CEO, Mr. Dr.K.R.Bagaria, the organizer and the convener of this InnoHR Asian, Professor Malvika Dudi, and other friends, colleagues, deans, and my dear students. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. I thank Professor L.K. Maheshwari for gracing this occasion as chief guest, and also Ms. Dr. Vipin Kumar for being the guest of honor to this function. And I thank our chairperson, Dr. L.K. Pawar sir, Mr. Dr.K.R.Bagaria, our Vice Mathur, and other people. And before concluding, way back 1983, I read one story in my mother tongue. At that time, the author predicted 2070 what will happen. So what he did is, he wrote in that one that the owner of the house, the wife of the author, she told the family that they have 2 sons and 1 daughter. Told that because nowadays the servant maid cost is very high, and then the Dhobi cost is very high. So washing machine, even if it is there, so we will buy one robot. At that time it is only said robot, but he does not know, the author does not know about AI. So he said that we will buy one robot which will take care of the cleaning of vessels, cleaning of the house and everything, and washing the clothes, even ironing the clothes, and it will tell you that whether your the suit is today is properly washed or not. It will take care of everything, and also it will take care of our health also. See, here only the joke part is there. It will take care of our health also. So how many calories required per day? 3,500. That much food only it will allow you to eat. Similarly, sleeping. So you require 7 hours of sleeping. So it will allow you only to sleep for 7 hours. Extra hours is there, it will wake you up. Right. So what happens? So finally, with a lot of problem, even one of the son is not interested at all. See, there is no human intervention is there in this one. Completely it will become mechanical. So I don't like to buy this robot. But finally, they purchased the robot because the Prime Minister has taken the decision. So finally, they purchased the robot. Then what happened? One day, there are so many jokes are there. Only one joke I will tell and conclude it. So finally, one day, what happened is everybody, she herself already consumed 3,300 calories. So 2 more 100 are there. So with the food, 2 more 100 calories also she has taken. The robot came. She wants to take lassi, not allowed. Similarly, Sunday came. The house owner wanted to sleep for more than 8 hours because Sunday he want to take. But 7 hours only required. A robot came and wake him up. So since there is no human intervention, so the author made joke about this AI, and then told that that's why when he is talking about human intervention is definitely required. Yes, it is required, but to use AI properly, maybe our Professor L.K. Maheshwari sir also tell that we are going to discuss about today reimagining of workplace and workforce. Maybe work ethics also required to discuss. Please do that one also in this HR innovation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to please remain seated as we prepare for the first panel discussion of the day.
Thank you for your gracious presence. Welcome once again to Innovation 3.0, where ideas meet innovation and leadership meets transformation. We would now hand over to our fellow students, Shudhipa and session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Niketan, Tanisha, for the wonderful start. Good morning, everyone. I'm Devanshu.
And I'm Shadisa. We are thrilled to take you forward into segment 2 of InnoHR 3.0. Present Award and India's most Titans Award of Excellence in Leadership and Innovation. Guided by her core philosophy of co-creating abundance for all stakeholders, she joins us today to steer this panel discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage the moderator of Panel 1, Ms. Richa Mahindra.
I request Mr. Mangu sir, Shekhawat sir, kindly come forward to felicitate our esteemed panelists.
Mr. Sachin Kumar Sharma sir. Mr. Nitin Basti sir. Mr. Piyush Kimoti sir. And now our moderator for our panel discussion 1, Ms. Richa Mahindra ma'am. Thank you, sir. We now invite our moderator for this panel, Ms. Richa Mahindra ma'am, to take it forward. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So good morning everyone, and it's really an honor to be here at VGU for a conversation that's timely and that's very urgent. A very well selected topic indeed. Like it has been emphasized in the morning, we are standing at once in a generation inflection point where talent itself is being redefined. And according to the World Economic Forum, 44% of all core skills will change by 2027. And nearly 40% of workers will require reskilling. Though of course more new jobs are going to be created than are going to be vanquished, but skills will really need to be learned. And one very important thing that we've learned is that degrees are no longer destiny, skills are. I know of many people, many evolved professionals who are sending their children out after 12 to learn skills to different countries rather than going for higher education. I'm not one of them, but many are. So India is already leading this shift. There was a survey by Coursera in 2025 that tells us that 96% of employers say that micro-credentials strengthen a candidate's application. 90% are willing to offer higher starting salaries to those with micro-credentials. And this is information for all of you young aspiring students here. So basically this is not evolution, this is recalibration. Again, the gig economy is exploding. India now has 12 million gig workers, growing at 17% annually. And it is projected to reach 23.5 million by 2030. So actually this is no longer an alternate workforce that we had started talking about a few years back. It's a parallel universe, a parallel talent universe. A universe that thrives on flexibility, autonomy, project-based work. You know, the way Gen Z and now Gen Alpha who are going to come into the workplace. Again, one last thing that I want to stress upon is that Gen Z is a very value-driven generation. 89% say purpose is essential for job satisfaction, and 44% leave a job that doesn't align with their values. So this question that was asked in the morning about culture, so values is going to be a cornerstone there in trying to build that culture. So jobs to skills, degrees to micro-credentials, loyalty to learning agility, 9 to 5 roles, to gig and hybrid work models. And to decode this transformation, we have some outstanding leaders here with us who represent the breadth of India's talent landscape, BFSI, manufacturing, digital services, and HR strategy. So I'll start with you, Sachin. So Sachin is Senior Vice President and National Manager, HR at AU Bank. So Sachin, banks traditionally hire for stability and compliance. And with Gen Z seeking speed and autonomy, how is AU Bank redefining its hiring framework to balance compliance?
Thank you, ma'am. Very apt question, especially for bankers sitting here. Nitin from Yes Bank, I'm AU Bank, and fortunately, we are colleagues in past. Both of us can talk about what I'm looking at. So your question is towards Gen Z and how digital transformation is happening and how bankers, how banks or as well as fintechs are looking at it. I would say we are running a small tech company within the bank. So I myself is a techie HR. I give you one quick background about me. I am a software engineer by my profession and HR by my heart. So I did my MBA in HR after my VTech. I decided to get into HR after my 4 years of tech journey. That is where, ma'am, Gen Z comes in picture, and you thought of doing a lot of experimental things in starting with career. Today we are in the era of fintech. Today we are in the era of digital. Everybody is talking about AI, what all Gen AI, adaptive AI, physical AI. Today morning itself, ma'am, I was reading an article of my company, HCL Tech. When HCL Tech has started one lab with NVIDIA and Santa Clara in the US for physical AI. But how we collaborate with Gen Z, because this is a generation who looks for everything quick. You have your pizza in 30 minutes delivery, you have Swiggy or Zomato. So how these transformations are happening across the world is changing our mindset also, right? We want everything in quick things. Everything we need in just 30 minutes, in 10 minutes. We can't wait for our order. We keep tracking our order on Zomato and Swiggy. That is the thing. And that is something which is not new. It's a phenomenon. You know, we have to, like we were talking about culture, we are talking about behavioral things. So you need to club few articles, few things together in order to bring the talent inside the organization and ensure your Gen Z is aligned with the core ethos and values of your organization. It's important. Gen Z is looking for everything quick. However, in my industry, because I now represent AU, and within AU also I represent technology vertical of the bank, it's compliance. We have governing bodies. We have our watchdogs. So RBI is sitting on our head. SEBI is watching us. Your stock exchange, your auditors, your large consulting organizations, everybody is looking at us. And being a banker, we are in a very responsible job. We are in a very, very serious business actually. Because people rely on us. Your money, your hard-earned money, your hard-earned money is lying in our account. Hence, the responsibility lies not just on senior citizens of the bankers, but new generation of the bankers. How do we inculcate the culture of seriousness? How do we inculcate the culture of ownership and responsibility? It's very important.
After this, जब टच बटन थे एक दो तीन दबाते थे उसके बाद में when people came up with these smartphones हम डर गए ये कैसे होगा तब जब स्मार्टफोन था not more than 2% crores were using these phones. Now the data says approximately 100 crore people are using these smartphones. And approximately the data set goes beyond the imagination. तो जब भी कोई नई चीज आती है अपने साथ opportunities लेके आता है. I gave two things and two answers. Question one, how to analyze a person at the time of interview कि उसकी परवरिश कैसी हुई. कोई बात नहीं, अगर उसको मौका नहीं मिला है, कोई अगर गरीब पैदा हुआ है लेकिन मरना गरीब नहीं चाहिए. दूसरा, अगर उसको तालीम अच्छी नहीं मिली है, now it's our responsibility to give him the best knowledge we have. Because अगर मैं कहता हूँ कि मैं 25 साल एक्सपीरियंस लेके बैठा हूँ, now it's my social responsibility to give to back to the society. तो अगर कोई अच्छा टैलेंट आ रहा है मेरे पास में, तो it's my responsibility to hire him, to guide him, और उसको मेरे जैसा ले आऊँ, तो शायद मेरा जीना सफल है. That's all.
Thank you very much. And to the students sitting here, I think you would have noticed he said that he's gone through 4 industries. He called me a mentor, though I don't think I deserve that mantle. In the morning session, you know, he encouraged all of you to learn from the people here. And this clearly demonstrates learning agility, right? And that is going to be very important for all of you. So thank you very much for this. Piyush. Piyush is Senior Services Head and Center Head, Infosys Jaipur. How is the organization? You know, Infosys has young, global and gig-ready talent. So how is the organization balancing full-time employees with gig tech workers, especially for niche digital skills?
Very interesting and relevant question, Richa ma'am. First of all, thank you VGU for inviting all of us on stage to share our thoughts and perspective. The gentleman sitting there, Nitin, is my neighbor and a very close friend of mine. We stay on the other side of the world. If Jaipur, this is south, we stay in the north. Took us a little while to come here. Just before answering, I just wanted to continue with what Nitin said. You know, careers, like you change 4 industry. Erstwhile, long back, careers used to be like train. It used to be a simple train journey. You have a degree, you get an entry ticket, you sit there for 30 years, and you're done. But here, nowadays, with the Gen Zs, with the Gen Alpha, even for our generation for that matter, you know, it is more of a metro ride. Right? You need to change lanes. You need to have that smart card. At times you need to change the metro. Like he changed 4 times. Change the industry. At times you got to do a Uber or a Ola to get to where you would want to be. Which is all about credentials, all about adding the skills. Degree is one part of it, but skills matter most these days. Now coming to your questions on how Infosys as an organization balance between a core and a gig worker. See, core is here to stay. Any large organization would want to have and would focus on a stable full-time workforce, which we rationale because they're more attached to our, they know our clients well, and they know how the systems run, how the compliance functions. So for majority of the business and organization like ours would continue to focus on the core, but having said that, you know, flex is no longer an option, right? There are those niche skill set like AI, right? Like the smallest of the AI function, which today some of the full-time employee may not be comfortable doing. For that, yes, full-time definitely is here to stay, which gives more of a stability. But as I said, you know, within an organization, there will be a lot of gig that you all would need to perform. So for that, you all will have to up your game on the relevant skill. That would be imperative.
What I read many times, many years ago, they would come out with some very interesting projects and they didn't handle over a platter, but they would put it in different places. So you could find it in a parking lot, you could find it somewhere else, and that's how I think the genesis of Git probably started there. So thank you so much. And now, Sachin, drawing back to what was discussed in the inaugural session, I would like to ask you, we are moving from jobs for life brain example that you gave, to skills for now. And as we are sitting in VGU, how should universities and corporates collaborate differently so that students don't graduate with skills that are, outdated probably on day one of employment?
Very happy, ma'am. So I'll start with this. We are moving away from rule-based to a role-based hiring. So we are not looking for any rule-based hiring. So what does that mean when you say rule-based? So we are looking for example, we are looking for Oracle DBA, somebody who's going to work with me on my payment gateways, let's say, the database handling. So it's a rule that for this particular piece, we need Oracle DBAs only, and those are having experience in the fintech industry or coming from a large tech organizations. So what we are saying from role to role is a bit different actually. He's not going to work on just one platform. I'm sure all of us know, all of us use payments, right? We all use Paytm, we all use PhonePe, we all use MobiKwik in our phone devices, right? But having said that, we don't know what is the rationale behind those applications. How does these applications work, right? Probably we just understand there's a connectivity between my account and PhonePe account, right? What all APIs are running behind this particular application, right? So we changed this ecosystem 3 years back, and we started the concept of a school of fintech. When we say we are not going to hire Oracle DBAs on the market. We are not going to hire UPI payment experts in the market. We are not going to hire debit card, credit card experts in the market, right? We will train and groom inside the organization, number one. We will collaborate with few universities. Those are NAC A+, like I just got to know that VG is also NAC A1 now. From these universities, we will set up a small labs within these universities. And we will train the small batch of freshers while they are in their 8th semester. 7th semester, they are in the campus, and 8th semester, they work with us on live projects. We all know, we all use debit cards, credit cards, Paytms, etc. But the technology which is behind those nuances, what is there? This is something which we are not teaching them while they are in the campus, right? They all learn Java skills. They all now everybody is talking about AI, responsive, generative, ChatGPT. But how does these technologies going to help me out and transform my ecosystem completely? That is very important to understand, right? So they are getting trained on few basic skills in their college. So we started launching this program 3 years back, and 7th semester they are in the campus learning on the skills platforms, which we are large universities, and getting them trained while they are in the 7th semester. And 8th semester they have to work with us on live projects. Their responsibility is to learn everything out, in and out, for those 6 months. Based on their performance, we absorb them. So that is one. Second, as per the Business World Report of 2025 only, February report says, fintech industry is just 18% of the market share as of now. Which means, whatever you talk about, your AI, generative AI, or you take anything, fintech is still not there. 80% of the market share is still not captured by technology workforce. You heard of CRED, you heard of any UPI app, any lending app. Or for example, I'll give you a very classic example. If you are visiting any hospital, you have to make payment in the hospital through your UPI, through your credit card or debit card. But that banker is there in the hospital. He is not a physical banker in the hospital, he is a digital banker in the hospital. Right? He is a digital banker lying in your pocket. I stopped using my wallet. I don't carry my wallet anymore. I have only my phones. All my digital identity is in my phone, or my bank accounts, my credit card, my debit card, even though my UPI debit card or credit card is no more a physical debit card, credit card. It's a UPI credit card, which I am carrying right now. Right? So I, as a banker, is always there. Wherever you move to, in your hotels, in your cinemas, in your schools, you have to make payments. What do you use? Your payment gateways, your payment systems, right? So we are teaching those skills while the student is in 7th semester or 8th semester in the university, in creating the workforce for the future. So that is how we adopted as new system to train fintech experts in the university system.
This is very inspiring, and many years back, Ultratech has started doing that, going to colleges and making engineers job ready. And what you're saying now takes it so much further, you know.
One again, let me go back to back. Nitin was talking about that he changed 4 industries. So I changed more than 8 industries.
Oh wow.
So from a techie to staffing expert, from staffing expert to technology expert again, and from there to mobile industry. So I worked with the Lava Mobile for almost 3 years, where we started this concept of getting trained with the help of Samsung R&D in Bangalore. So we as an industry also collaborate with top tier 1 companies to learn the best practices of it. So Lava started the manufacturing unit in Noida first, and then now we are starting a unit in Greater Noida. But how do we attract, retain, and train talent? That is very important for all of us to understand. So we learn from experts. I personally visited Samsung R&D for 3 months, 3 months to understand the dynamics around it, how they groom their talent inside the organization, from where they are and really what is the ecosystem lies in your hand devices. So for us, we are using a phone, but this phone has 4 sides of it. You have mechanical design, you have software design, you have industrial design, right? So every design is required in your phone. And how do we create this phone with the help of large manufacturing setups? So you also need to learn and unlearn few things, coming from technology to manufacturing to design, from design to insurance, from insurance to a banking again. So every industry is changing, but the essence remains the same. You need to learn, unlearn, and then relearn. That is the only essence which I perceive in my life. First, learn whatever demands us, time asks for, learn new things, and then move on.
Absolutely. And remember, you should all feel very proud. You are the talent that all of us are looking for. Scouting, wanting to attract, to retain, and you should feel very happy about it. So again, drawing from the morning session, Nitin, like you said, that AI is becoming a core, right? Other than the emotional aspect, though I still feel when you type into something as simplistic as Chat GPT, it answers you just the way you want it to answer you. You know, so probably you are asking the same question, it will handle you differently and handle me differently. So, what roles do you believe will disappear, evolve, or emerge in banking? Or you could talk of any of the 4 industries, mobile is not then the kind of one, over the next 3 to 5 years because of AI and automation. Because that would give them a little bit of understanding when everybody says that 97 million jobs are going away and 170 are coming. So some extent.
Actually, that's right. The question is, how many jobs and how many roles will replace it? I have a different aspect. Nothing will go. It's my personal observation, my personal aspect. Nothing will go away because I believe into thinking out of the box. I believe into new opportunities. I believe into dynamics, new horizons. Take an example of my own personal life. I started here from Asian Paints. Then I went to Airtel, worked with Airtel for 10 years for the corporate licensing, high design tools. People sitting here in VGU, whatever the data you guys are using, your high speed lease line, data line given by me when I was in Airtel. I shifted from Airtel to Reliance Jio, worked with Jio for close to 7 years and handled their all initial I was into sales. They gave me a role of infra development. It's a new thing for me. चाहता तो छोड़ के जा सकते थे, but I've taken the challenge. Even initial 6 months, what I was doing, I was standing on the roadside and supervising the tower installation. It was not my core job. चाहता तो मैं छोड़ सकता था, but all credit goes to my mentors, my well-wishers, जिनसे मैंने discuss किया, what do we do now? So everybody said, it's a new ability. Learn it. You are a sales guy. You are learning a technical thing. You are learning fiber. How to deploy a fiber. How to deploy antenna on the tower. I learned it. I worked there for close to 2 years in the same field in infra development only. Then the thing came. We are into the revolution. We launched free SIMs. मैं अपना example को बात करूँ. When I was in Airtel and I was moving from Airtel to Reliance Jio, me and my son was driving my car. मेरा बेटा मुझसे पूछता पापा ये एयरटेल का जो बोर्ड है हर कोई जानता है मेरे पापा मुझे बोलते हैं एयरटेल में काम करते हैं आप कौन सी नई कंपनी में जा रहे हैं So believe in yourself, number one. Try to learn bigger plus one, जो भी आपने बताया, whatever you are learning, आपने पहले जो सीखा, अभी क्या चल रहा है, it doesn't matter, आपको क्या सीखना है, what is your vision mission, what is your operation vision mission, what is your age. One more thing I would like to just tell you guys here in VGU, you guys are lucky that you are here in Jaipur. Take an example, you guys would be from Bikaner or Jaipur, Jodhpur, Bikaner, या कोई nearby area. You are lucky. My humble request to all of us, please go to the market, talk to the industries, professionals, ask for the projects. Because what I've handled for 3 years, I was handling the entire North and West India with regards to the strategic alliances. My core job is to do the alliances with SOCHAN, CII, NSIC, FICCI, all the national level associations. We are doing the association with them, we are doing the MOU with them. जैसा भी आपने MOU होते हुए देखा. Whenever they are doing their AGM and GBM, we go there, we do the licensing, we do the network system, networking, the target audience for our bank. There are few people who are asking for the business loan. There are few people asking for the machinery loan. Few are asking for the working capital. So it's my duty in those 3 years to educate the industries which loan you actually require. Take an example, if a person is looking for a machinery loan, but there are few bankers, there are few salesmen in the market, जिनका काम है पर्सन लोन दे रहा है, पर्सन मिलता है 18% है, 9%. So I have taken the responsibility. I built my team. There were close to 22 AVP level of people who are reporting to me, and we are handling the entire West and North. North includes your Delhi, NCR, UP, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, and West includes your Rajasthan, Gujarat, and MP city. We developed a core awareness session across the industry, across the area, to just tell them what is the actual loan you require. The industry gives people knows me by name. Yes, this is the guy. आज कोई पूछे तो कोई बता नहीं पाएगा Nitin is from the telecom or from the bank. What I am trying to tell you, try to learn new things, hit paradigms, hit new dynamics, or go to the market, ask for the projects. जितने projects आपके पास में होंगे, उतना अच्छा पैसा आपको मिलेगा. सीधी सच्ची बात.
I think that's very valid advice, that try and get as many projects as you can, as many certifications that you can do to get more exposure. So Piyush, back to you, and Infosys is known for some of its best practices. So, Gen Z values well-being, mental safety, autonomy, even over and above salary. So, I'm curious to know that how are you redesigning leadership behaviors within the organization so that managers become talent developers for this generation that's coming?
Yeah, and that's very relevant question for all the students, because you're the ones part of this Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So as an organization, we've realized that each generation needs to be treated differently, right? Like your Vice Chancellor was saying, while the Gen Z has seen the transition of technology to where we have reached, right? Ask us from those cassettes to a floppy disk to a MP3 to a CD to now, we do it online. We don't even need a USB device. Gen Alpha, what we're trying to do is, Gen Alpha is a AI native population, right? For them, this tech was always there. For them, a chat GPT existed, right? A Gen Alpha, or the latest generation, would also not have much of tolerance for any complexity without a purpose. Many of the large organizations, my two friends are there from two of the largest banks, we get into bureaucracy at times, knowing the scale that we are operating. For Infosys, we are 350,000 employees globally. So any approval, any process, there is a structured mechanism, which in our world we call it organized bureaucracy. But knowing that Gen Alpha, when we would be hiring, not right now, but 5-7 years down the line, this generation would like to have more simple of an approach. They would decomplicate things to make things very simple, right? Because this generation looks forward for a faster solution. rather than getting stuck in a bureaucratic environment. You order pizza, which takes 30 minutes, you still impatiently wait where my pizza is. So trust me, organizations are road ahead and taking care of your need as well. We as organizations would be faster enough once you are onboarded. Lastly, this generation is all about personalization, right? You have your Facebook personalized to your, how you use it, right? Your Instagram, your Snapchats and whatnot, what we use is all personalized to you. So as an organization, what we do is we're trying to personalize experience for each of our employees, depending on the generation of employees that we hire. So for all the students, when you join corporate next year, 2 years down the line or 5 years down the line, trust me, things will be much simpler. Corporates are working towards making things faster without any bureaucracy and giving you a personalized experience to enhance that overall employee value proposition. Thanks.
Here, ma'am, because it's a very relevant for companies like tech. I also came from HCL Tech, he's from Infosys. But few things vary between your sector to sector. So, for example, we come from very organized sector. We are governed by a lot of compliances, a lot of regulations. So, for example, if I have to travel from Delhi to Santa Clara, I just need to book a ticket on my travel desk. They look at my eligibility, be it economy or business class, and then automatically my hotel get booked. That is how the sector works. But when it comes to a different sector, wherein you have cost margin issue, where some limitations you are answerable to your stakeholders, you are answerable to your shareholders. So how do we inculcate again the culture of sponsorship, culture of ownership? That is also very important for the Gen Z. And second, like I said just before, banking, be it a technology banking, be it a sales banking, be it a branch banking, be it a liability or assets banking, banking is a serious business. Banking is a responsible job, right? Whether you are in technology or you are into sales or into branch banking, it's a serious and responsible business, right? Because people are watching you. Your funds, your money is lying in my account, right? And I am also answerable to you and RBI both. So at times you have to be very serious, careful, whatever you're doing, whatever you're performing, because people are looking at you. So that is how it is, and how do we inculcate and build the culture of sponsorship and ownership? It's very important.
I just would like to add one more important point with regards to this. There are two important things. Choose your circle wisely. I'm repeating. You guys have your own Facebook, your Insta, your LinkedIn. People, HR people, those are going to recruit you. They will not go to your place and ask about who is Nitin, what he is doing. They will go to your social websites. They are checking to whom you are talking to whom you are following. आप किस तरह कंटेंट देखते हैं, किस तरह के लोगों को फॉलो करते हैं, लॉरेंस को फॉलो कर रहे हैं या मुकेश अंबानी को फॉलो कर रहे हैं. नंबर वन, जितना आपका लिंक्डइन सॉलिड होगा उतना आपका नेटवर्क सॉलिड होगा, एंड योर नेटवर्क इज योर नेटवर्क.
Yeah, so Piyush, sometimes I fret when I see the kids of this generation, and you kind of validated that behavior, that unless there's something very important, they will follow the path of least resistance. And what you talked about banking being a very serious business, so just a few comments because we're coming to the end of the session to both of you bankers. They have validated gig within their core workforce, like Piyush said. And, the gig model is also entering BFSI. And you also substantiated that it's very serious business. So collection, sales, field verification is coming in. So do you see gig becoming a scalable model in banking, or will regulation curb it?
Ma'am, gig is already there in the banking as a business. So we use our gig workers, most likely maybe if you can answer in detail, as a frontline sales workers. We have our account opening, be it your CASA, current account, saving account, our sales, our loan sales could be any kind of a loan. These all are our frontline workers. But on top of it, because we were talking about micro learnings, we are talking about education, we are talking about degree as a matter of fact. So RBI definitely has certain rules and roles wherein they need qualified people actually to do that job. For gig workers, which is already successful model in BFSI completely I talk about here, because if you look at any insurance sector, they have a lot of frontline sales agents actually. They sell insurance policies, credit cards, your loan accounts, everything. This model is apt. However, RBI has certain roles. Those roles require at least a basic degree, a norm. So compliances we have to follow, but same time RBI is not going to cover completely for this, because frontline workers you can't hire at a remote location. I need somebody working in a least or last location of Rajasthan. I can't find IIT and NIT there. So my dependency is by default to hire a local talent there in that territory who is known to that territory, who is known to that local language, who is known to the local culture of that territory. So gig model is definitely going to be there. However, like I just said before, roles and rules are going to be changed, but that again depends on the roles. Which role you are getting hired in the bank. Into the addition of this, if we talk about this gig model, we are from banking and we have some compliances and we are bound to work in the specific compliances. Yes, people should be diversified. Person should know how to save, how to procure, how to absorb, how to take care of the new acquisition part, because new acquisition is the most important part, because I work in the telecom also. When I was in telecom, एक सिम हुआ करता था मोबाइल में. Now when Jio launched, every mobile has two SIMs. अब इसके बाद में क्या? People should be. That's why the salesperson should be knowing about the HR also. They should be knowing about the data, technical, finance, as well as the infra also. Yes, but if in terms of the banking, we are bound to work in the compliances. So I'm not supporting this, but yes, people should be diversified into the with regards to the experience there.
One last question to all three of you, and just any particular micro credential that you feel this audience should go for, that would really help them. Any one or two, all three of you would tell us.
I talk about only from a technology standpoint because I'm a techie HR, and probably Nitin can talk about from a sales perspective, or Piyush can talk about from his journey of Infosys. In fintech, we are looking for a lot of things. We started working in Fox Pro in '99. I'm not sure how many of you know Fox Pro and MS Access as a database, right? And then migrated from Fox Pro to SQL to Postgre, and now we have huge data, right? Machine to a LAN to WAN, now cloud. So see, the initially is changing completely, and the ecosystem is building across the global, the universe, right? So for me, because we do hire a lot of tech graduates and few handful MBA grads, for me we launch a couple of programs in collaboration with universities. But I still urge you to learn new age technologies, which is required in our ecosystem, precisely from the cloud space to AI. How do we adapt to AI, and how AI is going to help us out to design the ecosystem which is required for a mass population. Right? Because as of today also my team is working a lot of data, which is on Excel sheets. How do we track the movements of each customer of ours, with current account or saving accounts, and what kind of proposition I should sell it to him. You should have a credit card, AU Bank credit card, because you spend on your yes Bank credit card. I'll offer you Swiggy specialist credit card. So we understand your lifestyle. How do we encourage our people to adapt to new skills, to new age certifications? Those are required in this point of time. To be a techie, and especially in the fintech world, I just said 80% market growth is still there. How do we learn new skills, especially in the payments? Everything is linked to stacks. My only humble submission is because database is not going to be anywhere. Data warehouse is not going to be anywhere because we need a lot of data. We need architectures. We need cloud. How do you learn and build skills on your resume? Like Nitin said, your LinkedIn profile should talk about who you are, what you have done in the last 4 years of a degree, what all certifications you gained, right? portfolio. And last thing, elevate your pitch. It's very important. Elevate your pitch. Thank you. I just wanted to give you two words: practical intelligence. People are talking about the artificial intelligence. I'm talking about practical intelligence. To just brief what does it mean by practical intelligence? Take an example. You are ready material for the new corporate. You should learn your tech. You should learn your dynamics wherever you are, your geography, your industries, wherever you are sitting here. Take an example. You are sitting here in Rajasthan. You must be knowing about the handicrafts. You must be knowing about the minerals which we have here in Rajasthan. This is all about the practical intelligence. Your LinkedIn. To whom, whenever you are meeting someone, please click a picture and post on your LinkedIn. आप जब आज take an example, there are people those are here for B 4 साल आपको यहाँ पर हैं, हर साल ऐसे प्रोग्राम होते हैं, हर साल कोई ना कोई आएगा, take a picture along with this guy and post on the LinkedIn. एक साल में 365 दिन होते हैं, 1200 दिन में से अगर आपने 12 पिक्चर भी अपने LinkedIn पे डाल दिए किसी strong personality के साथ में, तो whenever the HR goes to your LinkedIn, he'll identify, yes, this guy has a zeal, he has a hunger to grow, so please be vocal, make your own visibility, be vocal.
I will probably, keep it very short. While Nathan said two words, I will keep it to one word. One skill you all should have and should always have with you till your last breath is learnability. Your ability to learn. Skills will continue to change. We as economies, as industry will continue to evolve, but something which no one can take it away from you is learning. So continue to learn. Thanks.
Absolutely. So, I quickly summarize a couple of things that you said. Skills is the new currency. Competency is like learning agility, flexibility, curiosity, leadership. They are timeless. Like you said, these competencies will be timeless. Skills will keep changing. Workforce is no longer linear. It is liquid. So anyways, I would really like to thank VGU and this distinguished panel, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So like Nitin said, choose your circle wisely. I always tell people that make good habits. While it is important to choose your circle, it's also important to make good habits. From the word habit, you remove H, a bit remains. You remove H and A, bit remains. You remove H, A and B, still it remains. So make good habits. It will help you.
Now, we would like to honor our panelists with a token of gratitude for their contribution in their HR fields. I request Mangu Sir Shekhawat, Mangu Singh Sir Shekhawat Sir, to hand over the token of appreciation. Mr. Sachin Kumar Sharma Sir. Mr. Nitin Basti Sir. Mr. Piyush Kimoti Sir. And our moderator, Ms. Richa Mahindra Ma'am. Thank you, sir.
What an incredible exchange of ideas. We have really revealed the layers of the modern workforce today. From the necessity of skill first, hiring the Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving to panel discussion 2. If the last decade was about digitalization, the next decade is about transformation. We are standing at the threshold of a new era. By the year 2030, the concept of a workplace will no longer be defined by physical walls or fixed hours.
Precisely. We are envisaging a future built on three non-negotiable pillars. First, technology. We are moving beyond simple automation to an AI-generated workforce. Second, agility. The future belongs to the organization that are fluid and agile. And
And third, and perhaps most importantly, inclusivity, diversity matters. To help us visualize the future, we present our next panel on the theme Workplace 2030, inclusive, agile, and tech-driven.
our first panelist with over 15 years of experience in people strategy, organizational development, and workforce transformation at NESCO. He oversees critical HR function including performance management, talent development, compensation, engagement, and culture building. Known for his data-driven approach and strategic mindset, he works closely with leadership to build strong talent pipelines and future-ready teams. His focus lies in creating workplaces where people thrive, grow, and contribute meaningful impact. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage with a round of applause Mr. K.R.Bagaria, sir.
Our next panelist is Mr. Deepak Kumar Arora, sir. He is the Vice President and Global Head of Learning and Development at Birlasoft, driving strategic initiatives that empower talent and foster organizational growth. With over 29 years of experience across leading organizations, he has worked on transforming learning ecosystem and aligning capability building programs with business objectives, innovation in learning technology and methodology to create impactful, future-ready work, workforce solution. Prior to Buildersoft, he has worked at DXC, Genpact, Capgemini, and NIIT. At Buildersoft, he also had HR tech in transformation, implementation, digital platforms, and automation to enhance employee experience and streamline talent processes. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage Mr. Deepak Kumar Arora, sir.
With 14 years of diverse experience, our next panelist is Ms. for Talent Development, Organizational, Culture and Strategic HR Initiatives. At Business Standard, she heads the HR team and plays a key role in strategy and leading transformative HR practices. In a rapidly evolving digital landscape, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage with a round of applause Ms. Aditi Bansal.
Our next panelist is Mr. Pathak sir, a seasoned HR and digital transformation professional. He is managing director at VIT Data, covering some of the large GSTs globally, based in Delhi, and highly skilled at engaging in value-driven and impactful conversations. Evangelism is a key component of his role. It's creating strategic partnerships by promoting and innovation. Sir has 20 plus years of expertise, includes data management, AI, cyber, cyber resilience, business continuity, cloud, and emerging technology award for the two consecutive three. Promotion and giving back to academia. Also ask, he's also
So our panel's topic of discussion would be Work 2030 Inclusive, Agile and Tech Driven. Conversation will be focused on three convergent forces: technology, reshaping how we work and what skills we need; culture, defining what talent expects from the organizations; and sustainability, becoming a shared responsibility between business, employees, and society. By 2030, in my opinion, we are not just building the workplaces, we are building ecosystems. A place where people, technology, and purpose will come together. And today, we will unpack what that transformation would like. So, AI is no longer a buzzword, right? By 2030, workplaces will be defined by AI augmented decision making, predictive HR analytics, and automation of repeated tasks. And AI will allow organization to be more precise, predict attrition, identify high potential talents, personalize learning pathways and the trainings, and improve productivity and operational efficiency. So, Mr. Keshav, I want to come to you for first time. So, what fast-paced transformation do we expect to see in workplaces over next few years?
Thanks Priyanka for this, and thanks VG for having us all here. It's an interesting question, right? And with the rapid changes that are currently going on, and everyone's probably worried about what will happen. So recently heard this term, which is human-machine weaving, right? So which means that humans and machines would now be working together. It would not be separate, it will be together. So if I talk about workplace changes in workplace, so what do we foresee in a couple of years? The workplaces would be more digital, more flexible, and more skill-based. So you'll have people working in the same team from different locations across countries, not online at the same time. So these are the changes that will be seeing. All the routine tasks, all the admin tasks that we're currently doing would be routed through AI, and human would only be doing more strategy-focused tasks. So that is the changes that we foresee that would come. So workplaces would not be boundaryless, it'll be more flexible, more digital, and more skill-focused.
So no doubt, AI brings tremendous value to the job, but at the same time, it brings the risk of biases, transparency, and data security. So what models or ethical framework should HR establish to ensure responsible AI use?
So responsible AI is a very broad term, right? And to classify it in saying so for HR or for any other different function, I think it would be wrong, right? Because as an organization or any workplace, they would need to have set responsible AI guidelines across. So as we talked about bias, so yes, if we are having AI in their workplaces, we need to ensure and check that they are not biased with different groups. We need to be transparent with our employees, saying that these are the AI models that we have developed and deployed. We also need to ensure digital literacy, so that the employee strength is also aware that what exactly AI is doing and they're skilled enough to properly work together with it. Secondly, we need to have strong governance structures in place to ensure that the AI is used in an ethical way and we're using it responsibly.
So you mean to say we should have a different set of manpower or the leaders who take care or look into these possibilities of this bias and transparency issues?
Thanks a lot, Priyanka, for this question, right? So to everyone, AI would not take jobs, it will create more, right? So we would need specialized people who would be monitoring how the AI would function. We just need to upgrade and work on our skills. That's it.
So you mean to say jobs are not going, but the roles are changing?
Yes, their roles are evolving. As we speak, they are evolving. Jobs are not going anywhere. It is only the repetitive routine tasks that we're currently doing, which doesn't have much value add, are going into automation or being directed through AI. Apart from that, you need to upskill yourself to be more, say, valuable asset to an organization.
listening from the industry specialist is a great relief to the people, especially to the students. Continuing with this question only, Mr. Anay, common fear, AI will take away the jobs. What is your say on this? And we would like to listen from you, your views on how AI changing the employability skills.
Thank you. Thank you, VGU, for this opportunity to interact. So, how many of you think that AI is there to take away jobs? Honest question, right? एक ही हाथ बस. So, because this is a very common question from students a lot of time, right? That AI is there to take away jobs, right? Okay. So I see some honest hand being raised. First of all, you need to understand AI and why AI now, right? AI is there from 1950s. There is a chat GPT moment for AI which happened, and that's where everyone is talking about AI, which is just generative AI side of it, right? So there was AI pre-chat GPT. This is chat GPT era going on, and then there is a lot of AI use cases which we are working on the internet, which is how we can help in the collaboration rather than being threatened by AI. So first of all, let's be very, very clear. If AI will take away 80 lakhs job, which is a figure which was given somewhere, it will create new 95 lakhs jobs, right? So while AI would take away certain kinds of jobs, it would create another kind of job which will be much more interesting for all of us. Remember that dialing phone which you have to have, right? You have to dial the number, and there was a person who was connecting the cable in the back end to connect the line. उसकी तो जॉब चली गई, कुछ अच्छा ही कर रहा होगा, right? Remember a Walkman जब आप कैसेट रिकॉर्ड करते थे जाके, right? ये 10 गाने रिकॉर्ड होंगे. या नेगेटिव.
These are also showing that degrees it will emphasize more on the skill rather evolving, and especially with hybrid, gig, part-time, and contract-based roles. Is AI changing the nature of the work?
Not specifically AI, to be honest, right? AI, we have been talking a lot about it, but then it's not the main cause of it, right? So, in terms of workplaces, as I mentioned earlier, workplaces are transferring like as we speak. So, we are having more hybrid, we're having more flexibility, and the best part is that we can have anyone work from anywhere. So it's easier for us as a workplace to go ahead and capture a good skilled talent, which has really started creating talent. So we were just working on, I'll just share an example, we were just working on one of the hiring. We had to hire a resource for our responsible AI team for Bangalore. And given part of NASCOM, it's the industry body non-for-profit organization, so we had certain constraint on the budgets. Bangalore looking for responsible AI, easily you have to pay a person more than 80-85 lakh rupees. Easy, that's an average. Which was not the budget that we could afford. And eventually we were able to find that talent and put it. So hiring for Bangalore, finding a talent in other world, that's the change that the hybrid work is. And in terms of collaboration, in terms of how things work, workplaces have to act it too positively, right? We have to come out of a notion that we would want our people all 5 days, 9 to 5 in the office. We have to let go of that, and it has to change.
Is it industry specific or it can be generalized?
It can be generalized, right? See, there would be functions, as the function that you come from, right? In which we would need people. Yeah, absolutely. But then apart from that, adding to the green HR that we were talking about, it will help in those initiatives as well. So yes, wherever possible, it should not be happening. See, we had a worst AQI in Delhi. The government said, okay, grab 3, 50% workforce. Then there was 10% reduction in the AQI, grab 3 removed. If we can work on that 50% model, then let's have it. That will contribute to the green HR that we've been talking about.
Deepak sir, would you think this hybrid work for the future, or are we going to swing back to the traditional workplaces?
This is, I think, from what has been spoken about sustainability, the hybrid model will continue. But yes, nature of the organizations right now, have are trying to come back to a work from office model. There are reasons for it. Obviously, you've set up huge campuses. You've made huge buildings which can house 25, 35,000 people. What are you going to do with it? I mean, if everyone starts working from home, it has impact on other pieces. It has impact on the other pieces of economy. There are people who depend on these offices for jobs. There is a cafeteria. There is a working population which maintains the offices. There's a huge number of other work economy which gets impacted big time because of this. So there's always a dilemma.
Your deliverables at time, and not only how you what are the opportunities you got. That is also fact. So this is the responsibility for the leaders to take it further. Deepak said just a few words on how the leaders should train themselves for this future workplace.
The elements of leadership, the core remains the same. There's no denying there. But what becomes critical now for leadership is the layers are reducing. If you see, the number of layers hierarchy which used to exist in any organization was very different earlier. So leaders now have to be on the ground. So there's now leaders can't be just management. It has to be understanding the business context, having strong knowledge on the ground realities is very important because now you're bringing technology flavor. You want to see how you can reduce these layers. You want to see how you can bring in better value for the business. Profitability is key. So obviously what will be very important is to understand the core. So in fact, right now if you were to see any organization, even if it's a manufacturing unit, you'll find the CEO on the floor and you'll find them really interacting with workers. That's one element. The second element, which is also very critical, is the human element, the human piece. In this world where you're now bringing so much of automation, it's leaders' responsibility to get the organization together. And for doing so, what is critical is the connect, the empathy, the interaction with your teams. Whether it is your sales team who drives growth for you, whether it is your delivery team which delivers, which to your customers, I think it's important that the leadership is in touch. And to summarize, I would look at these 2, 3. There are plenty of them, but I feel these are, from my view, what I've seen right now. These are very critical.
So as we look forward to 2030, several things are becoming clear. AI will elevate HR from transactional to transformation. Diversity and inclusions will shift from being a program to becoming a strategic growth engine. Sustainability will expand from operational initiatives to a core cultural pillar, and work models will be more hybrid, fluid, and powered by trust in technology. Workplaces 2030 is just not going to be digital. It is human-centered, inclusive, and responsible, and HR will be at the center of designing this future. Thank you, all of you, for your special insights, and thank you, the university, for inviting all of us. Thank you so much.
Now we would like to honor our panelists with the token of gratitude for their contribution in HR field. Now request Mr. Sudhanshu Sharma sir to hand over the token of appreciation. Priyanka Manhan. Wow, that was a truly a glimpse into the future, from AI-driven workflows to the need for deep human empathy. The workplace of 2030 certainly looks exciting and challenging.
Absolutely. It is clear that while technology will build the structure of the future office, it is inclusivity and agility that will build its soul. A massive round of applause for all our panelists for such a forward-looking discussion.
We must express our deepest gratitude to our moderator, Dr. Priyanka Mann, and all our panelists. Thank you all so much for bridging the gap between classroom and corporate boardroom. Can we hear it one more time for all our panelists and our moderator, Dr. Priyanka Mann? We now request all the students to proceed for lunch and request all the dignitaries and distinguished guests to please be seated for the brief session.
कैसे होता कैंसिल दबा के आर यू स्टॉप शेयरिंग इवेंट को ठीक है नीचे से आता नीचे से आता इससे हाँ हाँ तो इधर आ साहिल इसको अपलोड करना पड़ेगा जो लेटे पोस्ट ही थी ना